Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the cancellation of Kartarpur Corridor Talks by India and Pakistan. This is a very important current affair. In the month of November, the cabinet had approved the development of a corridor to enable the smooth passage of pilgrims seeking to visit the Pakistan's Kartarpur Sahib. So, in the month of November, cabinet had approved the construction of Kartarpur Corridor. And Kartarpur Corridor or Kartarpur Sahib is the Gurudwara in Kartarpur which stands on the banks of river Ravi about 120 km northeast of Lahore. And Kartarpur Sahib is considered as Guru Nanak's final resting place. And it was here that Guru Nanak assembled a Sikh community and lived for 18 years until his death in 1539. So, it was a long-standing demand from the side of Sikh community in India for easy access to the Kartarpur Sahib, and the Kartarpur Corridor was first proposed in 1999 when Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee took a bus ride to Lahore. And in the month of November, the Union Cabinet had approved the construction of Kartarpur Corridor, which will enable smooth passage of pilgrims seeking to visit the Pakistan's Kartarpur Sahib. So now we will understand why the Kartarpur Corridor talks have been cancelled by India and Pakistan and what are the implications. But before we begin, this is our channel StudyIQ and we are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including SSC and bank courses, UPSC optionals, SSC JE courses, teaching examination, railway examination, defense examination, RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, UGC NET, UPSC Civil Services Examination, CLAT exams for various state PSCs and also for various professional courses. You can visit our website www.studyiq.com for more details or you can call to any of these numbers for more information. Now let us briefly understand what is the significance of Kartarpur Corridor. So as we discussed in the beginning, in the month of November 2018, India and Pakistan agreed to set up a border crossing. And this border crossing was to link the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur to the Dera Baba Nanak Shrine in India's Gurdaspur district. Now, the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib is the final resting place of Sikh faith's founder Guru Nanak Dev. So this is the resting place of Guru Nanak. And Kartarpur Sahib is located in Pakistan's Narowal district across the river Ravi about 4 kilometers from the Dera Baba Nanak Shrine. So as we discussed earlier, the Union Cabinet had approved the construction of Kartarpur Corridor which will help the Sikhs in India to visit the Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur. Now let us understand why was the talk cancelled. There are three main reasons. One is the differences of opinion with Pakistan and India. Second reason is the recent Pulwama attacks and the third reason is the security concerns. So we will understand all of these in detail. The first one, the difference of opinion between India and Pakistan. So the first round of talks took place in the shadow of the Pulwama terror attack and it revealed divergences between the two sides on all aspects of the pilgrimage corridor, which included the number of pilgrims to be accommodated, the security restrictions, the documentation issues, the mode of transport to be used by the pilgrims. So in all these lines, there were difference of opinion between India and Pakistan. And moreover, the Pakistan PM Imran Khan's administration feels that it should be given more credit for having cleared the Kartarpur Corridor or Kartarpur proposal. So Pakistan's Prime Minister is claiming more rights or credit on the construction of Kartarpur Corridor. But New Delhi, Indian administration refuses to acknowledge this demand. And the Indian administration or India claims that it is because of Indian Sikh pilgrims' demand for visiting the Kartarpur Sahib that India has cleared this proposal. So, after the formation of the Radcliffe Line, the sacred shrine of the Sikhs was left on the other side of the border. So, Indian Sikhs does not have an access to the shrine. So, now Indian administration claims that it is because of the demand from Indian Sikh community that India has cleared this proposal and India is not ready to give the credit to Pakistan administration. And in this regard, India has made it clear that the corridor will have no connection with furthering bilateral talks on other issues. Now, this was the first reason why the talk was cancelled. Second one is the recent attacks. So after the recent attacks, the Pulwama attack and the Balakot strike, there is a deep distrust between the two governments. Two governments does not trust each other after the attacks. So after the Pulwama attack and the Balakot strike, the gulf between Pakistan government and the Indian government has widened. So both the governments are not now ready for a joint proposal or a project. Now the third concern is regarding the security. The security agencies in India have cautioned of Pakistan's military establishment using the corridor to fuel separatist Khalistani sentiment. So what is Khalistan movement? Khalistan movement is a Sikh separatist movement seeking to create a separate country called Khalistan in Punjab as a homeland for Sikhs. So the movement mainly targets on creating a separate country for the Sikhs in the state of Punjab, and this country is called Khalistan. So security agencies in India have cautioned the Indian administration that Pakistan's military establishment can use the corridor in order to fuel the separatist Khalistani sentiment, and this will lead to disturbances within India. And in this regard, the Pakistan cabinet has constituted a 10-member Pakistan Sikh Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, or the PSGPC, and the purpose of constituting this Pakistan Sikh Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee is to facilitate Sikh pilgrims after opening of Kartarpur Corridor. And what is important in this committee is that the committee or the team is said to be formed with some non-pro-Khalistan leaders within the Sikh community. So this committee itself will constitute members who are pro-Khalistan leaders. So this can fuel up the Khalistan movement in India. And the Ministry of External Affairs in India summoned Pakistan's Deputy High Commissioner seeking clarifications on the controversial elements of this committee. So the Pakistan did not name the members of the committee, even though the Ministry of External Affairs had summoned Pakistan's Deputy High Commissioner on seeking clarifications regarding the controversial elements like the composition of the committee. So Pakistan was not being transparent. They were not ready to reveal the name of members of this committee. And the Indian government's decision now to postpone the next round of technical talks is driven mainly due to these concerns. So now India has responded that the next meeting would be held only after India receives response from Pakistan. So India wants Pakistan to be transparent on the committee. Now let us also understand what were the alternatives with India. So now the talks have been cancelled. So what else India could have been done with this Kartarpur Corridor talks instead of cancelling it? So now it has been cancelled, and the cancellation of the talks reflects the distrust between the two countries. Both the countries does not trust each other. And one main reason, as said by India, is due to the separatist Sikh groups formed in Pakistan. Now if we look at the separatist Sikh groups in Pakistan is supporting the separatist Sikh groups since long back. So for that matter, India must work to secure its border from threat. India should ensure border security in order to escape from the threats of such separatist movements. But at the same time, it was fair from India's part to open up the gates for thousands of pilgrims to travel to Pakistan. So Sikh community in India is a minority community, and Indian government should have admitted and respected the demands of the Sikh community. So it has been a long time demand of the Sikh community in India to travel and to visit the Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan. So the government should have admitted that fact and should have responded well to it. And the technical issues like the numbers, the eligibility of the pilgrims, or the identity proof required, etc. should have been resolved by both the governments over bilateral talks. So technical issues should have been resolved by both the governments. Now India has cancelled the talks. So putting off the meetings is hardly a constructive solution. It cannot serve as a constructive solution because it has been a long time demand of a minority community of Sikhs living in India. And the Union Cabinet had already approved the construction of this corridor, and it was proposed that this corridor would be opened by next November in order to mark the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak. So instead of cancelling the talks, both the countries could have been engaged in better bilateral talks in order to resolve this issue. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries regarding your preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com. And you can also follow my Facebook page for more video updates. Thank you.